You are now listening to the Cross-Platform Chat podcast.
Hello and welcome. This is episode 4 of Cross-Platform Chat, a podcast about video games and nerdy things. My name is Matt, joined by two of my best gaming buddies on the microphone. We are three friends with three distinct perspectives on games, but we are cross-platform and backwards compatible. So our door is always open to gamers of all flavors, and we welcome you to the house of Cross-Plat Chat. So pull up a chair, stay a while, why don't you hang out with the cool kids? Let's chop this thing up. So right now, let me welcome my partners in crime, my boys. Make some noise. Devon, otherwise known as Sonic Boom.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, I thought you were going to make it 2 weeks in a row when you said, like, applesauce yogurt. Or what'd you say last week?
Add Astra applesauce.
Yeah. Okay, greetings to you, Sonic Boom. And my other bro ham, Greg, a.k.a. Human Platinum. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
Sweet. Before I forget anything, let me ask you boys, up front, what have you been playing since we've last given a chat?
Well, I've been playing How to Fix the Internet Simulator, which...
Did you
I hate that game.
That game sucks.
No, I had to buy a cheat guide. It was awful.
You know, walkthrough.
Yeah. No, I think I got it resolved, but I haven't played much other than I played some the Halloween event in Modern Warfare. That's been pretty cool. Zombies. The what do they call it? The Haunting of Verdonxt. So that's pretty dope. That's really fun. And then
Say that again.
Verdonxt.
Verdonxt. Okay.
Verdonxt. That's the mythical country it takes place in. Yeah, but it's like, it's at nighttime. There's zombies. It's way dope.
Cool.
It's bananas. It's crazy. I'll spread the details for those that don't play COD. And then the new Super Mario Brothers U special Luigi's edition for the Switch.
Nice.
It makes me want to murder my family because I can't tell you how many times I've been bopped into lava or nudged off the ice or left to die at the bottom of a platform because my son and my wife decide, hey, we can just keep going, right? We don't need dad. Let's just keep going. And then I die and become a bubble and have to float back
In the fire pit.
Yeah, it's worse than Monopoly.
Yeah.
Like I look at my sweet 4-year-old child, I'm like, oh, you're so innocent and pure. You don't know the grief you're causing your father.
I guess it's illegal to punt you, but
Yeah. It's like there's laws against what I want, but
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I hate co-op in 2D Mario games so much.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
when friendly fire's
I've
on,
never had a good time.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, you just
I did 3D World
you
with the
can't
misses.
do
and that
anything you
wasn't
want
too
to do.
bad.
You're getting knocked around.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I thought with it being on the Switch that like, hey, let's turn that off so you just kind of, float through each other.
That'd
Or you
be
don't-
great.
Kick each other off the platform to get a mushroom.
Now here's an impromptu question, boys. This just makes me think off the top of my head. What game that you can recall is like a co-op game that made you almost just end the person you were playing with because it was so infuriating? I have two off the top of my head. If anything else comes to mind.
Overcooked.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure across the country Overcooked has caused divorces. I'm sure of it. I'm certain of that.
We stopped playing because I was just
We did.
getting so mad at myself. I was like, okay, this is not a good time anymore.
Yeah, totally. How about you, Devin? Besides what you've been playing, I guess that's your answer.
I would say a game, but there's a level. Trying to get an achievement in Halo 3 where you and 3 people in co-op have to run the end level on a mongoose and not die. That was like one of the last achievements I needed to be 100%. And the people I were playing with were just cheeks. Like they barely had 2 thumbs. And it took an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through it. It was just abysmal.
And I'm sure once you do a clean run, it's like a 30-second thing. Well, not 30 seconds, but I'm sure once you do it, it just
No.
is like a 5-minute deal.
Yeah, it was. That was the thing.
Yeah,
But
the
you,
other,
Matt.
yeah,
Did we say hello to you? Did we say
the
hello to you
king-
yet?
Oh,
Introduce you,
I never introduced myself. Really.
Matthew.
Yeah, Matt. I'm
Matthew,
doing well.
the man
What's
on the
up?
mic, the
Yeah.
leader, the host, the king,
Yes, sir.
the
Yeah.
financial advisor,
That's
the glue.
why we're broke right now, boys.
Yeah.
Let's see. The game that came to mind, yeah, Overcooked was the first one. The second one, and more recently for me, was Snipper Clips, which I love Snipper Clips, but I was trying to play that with even my own twin brother, who you would think would just be like, hive mind. We can just communicate by grunts and telepathy, but it wasn't working, and it was just this moment of like, why don't you listen to me? And then it turns into this whole thing. This is just a microcosm. No one ever listens to me. I hate life. And then I threw the controller. Just kidding. That's only half true, but yeah, Snipper Clips. Okay, so you've been playing, let's just to recap, the internet, and you've been playing Call of Duty, and you've been playing new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, so nothing new or fresh, unfortunately. Sorry. I've been kind of trying to take a break from current gen. I haven't really been playing anything
No,
new.
me too. Actually, you didn't hop back on Genshin either?
No, I was going to mention I dropped that like a bad habit. Just
wow.
Just
Really?
woke
You were
up one day.
so in last week.
Oh my god, I was so close to putting money into it. Like that's how in I was. Like I was like, I need to buy the season pass. This would be great. And then I woke up the next day and I was like, I can just delete this off my desktop. I don't need that anymore. That's a waste of 40 gigs.
What a
No,
turd.
I think I don't know if I just played too much too quick and got burnt out.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
Hot and cold. You're hot and cold. So tomorrow you're gonna wake up and think of nothing but Genshin Impact is what's gonna
That'd be great. Yeah, no, it's
right.
I'm at the point where it's kind of becoming almost a job or a chore to get any further, and I don't
I hear
energy.
you.
So.
I hear you. Cool. How about you, Greg? What have you been playing lately? You've been pretty busy.
Yeah, I kind of have actually. Over the weekend, I finished and platinumed Ghost of Tsushima.
Well done, boy. That's
man, that game only gets better through the course of playing it. Like,
oh man,
the story and everything ramps up. Like,
yeah,
just keep introducing cool new systems and stuff, and just great. Like, I platinum in it. I'm like, what else?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you two things on Ghost of Tsushima because I saw your Twitter and like right away I was like, I'm jelly. I want to be that guy right now. First of all, this sounds like BS, but it's not. I was working all weekend. I wanted to ask you if you wanted to co-op that game. I still want to do that.
Yeah, we need to. For
yeah, I thought you guys had a date.
Yeah, it's always me, dude. I seriously, I've been working all freaking like. I haven't had a day off of work for like 3 weeks. I've worked.
Matt, are you complaining you have a job?
No, I'm just saying I don't have time for games.
Are you sad that you're getting a paycheck?
Sonic Boom.
Why do you gotta be like that?
Hard.
This is not your segment right now. Okay, we're asking Greg about Ghost of Tsushima. So the other thing was I was gonna ask you was, without spoiling the story, obviously you're not gonna do that, but like, what did you think about the ending? Because I've heard some people kind of downplay the story, and so far I haven't. For me, and I'm still really early in the game, I have every intention of playing it, especially since they announced that it's gonna be 60 frames on PS5. So now I'm kind of like, I think I'll just wait to finish it. But like, story wise, how did it close out for you?
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought it. Okay. I was very happy with. Like, I don't know if happy is the right word. It was a very good story, and I enjoyed it a lot. It was very affecting.
Yeah, actually, I think that I've already heard. I should have put this in the news too, but I've already heard Sucker Punch like do job listings for pretty much what you would think to be the sequel. They're like referencing feudal Japan, and you're like, damn.
Yeah, I feel like I heard a while ago, like in interviews leading up to this game's release, that like several years after this invasion, like there's another invasion that happens. So.
That's the beauty of feudal Japan. It never ends.
Yeah. There's always stuff going down.
Keeps being feudal. Yeah, I would love to see this be an ongoing franchise for Sony. I think it was kind of a surprise. I hate to call it a surprise, but I think it definitely outdid expectation. Certainly in sales, but like reception was awesome.
Yeah, like Sucker Punch has always been great, but I don't think like Infamous Second Son like just blew people away. Like everyone liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
But this seems really taken up a notch.
Totally. Totes my goats. So Ghost of Tsushima, you platinumed. What else you playing?
I played through a bunch of the new Mafia remake. I'm probably good 3/4 through that, I think. And it doesn't seem super long,
platinum.
But it's good stuff. It's very linear, which is kind of strange because it has an open world, but it is just kind of mission to mission.
Yeah.
But the vibe of that game is so good. Just
were you streaming that over your on your phone
every single preview
while you're on the bench?
I saw that game looked good.
No, I wish. Yeah, it's really fun. It's the shooting is not the best in the world, but it gets the job done. But the story is really good. Like each chapter ends, and you're kind of like, all right, what happens next? I need to know. Whole thing's kind of framed like someone telling about his past and stuff, and yeah, it's a really good time. I'm hoping to wrap that up soon. And just tonight, I played the demo for Immortals Phoenix Rising on Stadia.
On Stadia? I was gonna say, wait,
yeah,
that's on Stadia.
Yeah.
Did you pay for that copy?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, wait a minute, what?
No, I didn't stream it, so it's all good. But that game is my stuff, let me tell you.
Yeah, collectathon.
It seems made for me. It is a lot more Breath of the Wild than I thought. Like I thought, oh, this kind of just looks like Assassin's Creed, but kind of a little more cartoony. But it is really good, and I like it.
It's weird that like this many years later, we're finally starting to see Breath of the Wild clones. Genshin Impact.
Like it took a while.
So I don't know if it's just because open world games take forever to make, but I feel like they're all starting to hit now. And it's like, okay, there it is. That's what we were, anticipating once we saw this. So not that we've never played an open world game before, but Breath of the Wild definitely had a unique take on it.
Yeah, definitely.
And this feels like it. Like, I mean, you're like basically magnetizing things and carrying them around. You're like, your wings are almost identical to how the parachute works, or the hang glider in Breath of the Wild, and like the climbing seems almost exactly the same.
All right, so it heavily lifted from it then, like Genshin.
Yeah. Feels a lot. It has even what felt like a small shrine, basically, like this small little room I went in, did a little puzzle, got something.
What do they call bogoblins in that game?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. I was kind of surprised. It's actually pretty funny. Like I laughed out loud like 3 times in this small demo. Like it's well written.
The walls, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna be a game for me for sure.
Nice.
Like there wasn't much doubt that it would be, but
you've been a busy man.
Yeah,
been a busy
man.
And
side note, gotta say, Stadia worked pretty well for me.
Like, it's not bad. I did some what was it, PUBG and Serious Sam.
Yeah,
I think I did a little bit, and it works as advertised. The quality isn't the best, but you're able to get in and out of games and fairly quick.
It didn't even feel like like streaming artifacts. I didn't really notice. Like it was like 1080p, so I could tell it was that.
Sure.
But like it hits a few times in like the first 5 minutes, and then the whole other time, like you kind of just forget you're playing something that's streaming, and you just feel like you're playing a game.
It's pretty cool.
So, yeah, I was impressed.
I just have to take this random tangent opportunity for just a second. Why isn't Stadia selling better? Actually, I shouldn't even ask that because I don't even know technically what the sales figures are. But Stadia is just
Its business model is cheeks. It's think about
that's what it is for sure.
Think about if you had Netflix, but on top of paying for your monthly service, you also had to buy the things you wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And the feature set is pretty poor. Like there's a friend list, but you really can't do much with it.
Okay.
It's very feature poor at this point.
So here's a question for you then, because it's Google, I don't see Stadia gracefully bowing out of this fight anytime soon, necessarily. And certainly since Amazon is getting in, also, like I think I anticipate all these players to kind of raise the stakes in their own way. Certainly since Microsoft is kind of pivoting towards that model more and more with Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, like, Google, you should assume they should be able to pretty much be able to model their sales pitch however they want, really at any time. Really, where I'm going with this is if they just completely remodeled their approach, do you think they would be more effective and more competitive? Like, let's say they had pretty much a Game Pass
I think that would
sales
be
model.
much more enticing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, like Greg and I can attest, the service works. Like I played PUBG on it and was able to do pretty well. And that game, it's not a Twitch shooter, but you need to have some pretty good reaction time.
Yeah.
I mean, it works. It needs some work, unfortunately, but I think they just thought that they could throw money at it. They have the unique position where they have the hardware. They got the data centers where they can have an infrastructure for streaming, which a lot of companies don't. But if they were to revamp their business model in terms of pay monthly feed like Amazon's, which the name is escaping me, but like Game Pass,
Luna.
you pay a monthly feed. Lumines, Lunari,
Luna. That's
Lunar.
Lunari.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, Illuminati.
Lumina.
Oh my goodness, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That would have been way better.
I mean, they would have.
Honestly, anecdotally, when I hear people's impressions of it, I keep hearing like performance is not necessarily an issue. That's what I keep hearing from people. And I honestly thought that was going to be the biggest barrier to that thing catching, traction, but it's not really. So like in my mind, I'm kind of thinking, well, with games, and I don't like newcomers. I'm biased. What can I say? So like I always was thinking it's going to take more than just, okay, you have a new service that's reinventing the wheel, kind of. Just it works with streaming to entice a market of people that are already entrenched in ecosystems that have all kinds of things going for them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I was assuming it would go. But again, as you're describing it, it sounds like the performance is working. So I'm just continuing to wonder, like, why is this thing not? I guess it's the sales model is what I'm just.
Yeah, like I really don't want to. I'm not going to pay $60 for a game for Stadia because I don't know that they're going to be around in a year.
Yeah, and they're their new Chromebook or new Chrome stick or whatever. It doesn't work with
it.
Stadia.
Doesn't work with it yet.
Yeah, it's like how can your new products not like? It's just
it does not work.
No.
Wow.
It is support is coming later, supposedly.
That's crazy, especially for a company like Google. When I think of Google, I think of like absolute ubiquity, like you pick up any device and Google's there.
And
in every
another thing I'll say, like it was so easy. Like I went to the page, clicked in, they're like, "Oh, do you have a Google account?" And I signed in.
Yeah, right.
And I turned on my controller, it paired it. It was like, "Oh, you have a controller." Okay. I clicked play, and then I went. Like, it was so easy. It works so well.
Yeah, right.
It is just the business decisions that are really getting in the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the features that they talked about when they first introduced it. Like, I don't think there's anything for YouTube integrated yet, so you can't be streaming and watching someone play.
That's
and then
weird.
be like, oh yeah, I want to play that, and then you jump into that same level or that same world or whatever. Like none of that's in there, and
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's surprising too for Google. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
Anyways,
they made the mistake of just throwing money at it, you know. So
Yeah.
we'll see next year. This time around, next year,
Yeah,
if we're in the same boat or if things have
I'm
changed.
I'm so interested. That's the other thing about Microsoft entering that arena as well. And they kind of had said up front, like, our competitors. I thought it was a little head in the clouds, but they're like, we're not competing with Sony. We're competing with the Googles and the Amazons of the world, or whatever they said. I'm like, I don't think it'll be that hard for them to claim that mountain, honestly, when they
Yeah,
get there, judging by the way.
the end of this next gen, it's going to be a completely different landscape.
So
And
interesting, dude.
I think
Just saying,
streaming is
man.
going to be the next thing in 8 years.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you. So is that your concludes your list for what you're playing, Greg? You got anything else to throw in
Yeah.
there?
That's pretty much it.
The only thing I've been playing, guys, the only game, and it's really compatible with my busy week. Sorry, I'm bitching about that. Is Lonely Mountains Downhill. Lonely
Nice.
Mountains Downhill. And it
That game's
all,
great.
yeah, dude. I actually remember seeing this game like in a preview, like maybe more than a year ago, because I think it came out like, I know it was a 2019 release, but I remember seeing it, and even then I was like, ooh, I like the aesthetic. It's kind of like this minimalist, polygonal kind of game. Do you know anything about this, Sonic Boom, by the way?
No, I was going to ask, is this like an interactive manga or hentai? Because
It
Lonely
is
Mountains go down by the river.
It is
Like,
both of those things, and you should totally get on board with this because you like Genshin Impact. But this is a
yeah,
downhill. This
I'm
is a
hardcore now.
yeah, I know. We know. You don't have to explain yourself. But it's like a mountain biking game. You're just going at the top of a mountain and you're following a trail to the bottom of the mountain, more or less. That's kind of on paper. That's the elevator pitch for the game. But it's like the art style is really I don't know. It's got kind of a signature look to it. It's really polygonal, really popping colors. But it kind of reminds. Do you ever play like RC Pro Am or something that just is a isometric racing game type? It's like 3/4 view. Anyways, all you do is go down the mountain, but it's really cool because you can take like several paths, and it's more or less a time racing game, sort of. But it's like really. It's really environmental. I mean, you're in the mountains, and that sound design is really realistic, actually. So it's kind of has this dichotomy of like the sort of minimalist art style of the game, but then you have like a really isolated in the mountains by yourself, peaceful vibe to it. But I really like it. I really, really like it. It's got nice challenge to it, and it's hilarious too because like when the guy crashes, he pretty much dies in like
It's brutal.
it's so brutal, and he can like fly off the side of the mountain. It's so fun. Yeah, it's really really cool. And I think the DLC, in fact, this is what turned me onto it, is because there was a trailer for the DLC, which is called Edfall Island, I think, that just comes out today. So I'll probably pick that up too. But it's cool that they're continuing to support it. I'm sure it sold decent if they're doing DLC for it, but it's pretty much on everything. I believe PC, Xbox, PS4, Switch. I picked it up on Switch.
I believe it's on Game Pass. I think it launched on Game Pass.
Oh, no kidding. There you go.
Yeah,
cool. So really digging it. Really digging it. I haven't played a whole ton of it. Probably maybe an hour or two.
Yeah.
In my bed.
Good like podcast game. Just kind of unplug.
Totally.
Chill out.
Yeah, it's super chill.
And that was called what again? Down the Trail of Aching Hearts?
Down the Trail of Aching Hearts. It's a Genshin Impact hentai off.
No, that's a Patty Page song, you fool.
No, it's Lonely. No one listens to that. It's Lonely Mountains Downhill.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, you were right there. Okay, before we move to our next segment, I also wanted to ask if anybody has any. I've been meaning to ask you guys, like nerdy pickups. This could be games or dollies in my case. Anything that you've picked up on the nerd front in the last week, or even more, because I haven't really touched base with y'all on this subject before.
Ooh.
Anybody?
Well, the kind of
got a couple things.
Yeah, you go ahead, Greg.
I finally got my Mario pins in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I forgot to ask you about that.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
They are
They're
so
real nice.
gorgeous. I love that box too. That like
Yeah.
and
Like I kind of
red.
just
Oh,
want to leave
so
them in there.
cool. Totally,
Yeah.
that's what I did. There's my thoughts.
Yeah. I haven't got it yet. I ordered. They had a sale. I got the vinyl soundtrack for. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name
Good music.
of the game for insert game name here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'll just edit it in later, okay?
Yeah. Whatever it was great.
Housemark, their last game.
Next Machina? Next Machina?
Yes, next Machina. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. So I got the vinyl for that. Man, it was
Who publishes that, by the way? How did you acquire this? Do they have more?
Fangamer.
Damn. Okay, I need to go check
Yeah.
that out. Are they sold out? You think?
They might be now. They were clearancing it out for $10.
No way. Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And I got I've got a NVMe drive and an enclosure.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to use on my Series X.
You were
and
mentioning that.
Started using that a little bit, and let me tell you, even on my 1X, it is noticeably faster loading stuff.
Dude, I'm getting so excited for next gen, and I keep hearing from people. This is mostly relating to the Series X because that's what it's in people's hands. But this loading speed thing is going to be a revolution, man.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
I am so aware of how long things take to load now that I keep seeing all these videos of how fast stuff can.
Yeah.
Like I try to play Destiny on Xbox or PlayStation, and it's just like loading into a menu takes forever, and you're just like, oh my gosh, killing me now. It's just it's like the burden of knowledge. Like you can't unsee it, you know. It's just like, oh. What about you, Matt? What nerdy stuff did you buy?
Nerdy things. By the way, I just checked Fangamer. They are sold out of Next Machina. That sleeve looks so sexy.
It's a slick art for sure.
Oh, that is awesome. Things. I got I collect art books, which I usually look at them once and then put them on a shelf and never see them again. But I got Sekiro, which is pronounced Sekido. By the way, thank you. Sekido means one-armed wolf for all those wondering. I got the art book. It's freaking awesome. And I also, to add that to my collection of FromSoft art books, which are great. You'll love this one, Sonic Boom. I got a miniature model, that you actually have to piece together of a PlayStation 1. The model is made by Bandai, and it's so adorbs. It's an adorable little box.
Almost ordered that.
Yeah, dude. It's a little on the pricey side. I think it was like $29-$30, but
yeah.
I have like 3 just completely untouched models that I will complete at some point in my life. When I'm older and lonelier. And yeah, that's one of them. And it's really, really cool. Don't worry about it. And then I got a hunter figure. Have you guys ever heard of Nendroids? Nendroids?
Yes.
They're like little
androids. Yeah,
little
I got an Android phone.
Not that. It's Nendoroid, but it's
Nintendroids.
Shut up and let me finish my. And then you can talk about whatever you got. I'm sorry. It's like a 5-inch little dolly. It's kind of like a chibi style, so like a big head. It's supposed to look kind of cute, and they're imported, so they're pretty damn expensive. But it's the hunter from Bloodborne, and every time they just know all of my buttons and they push them repeatedly because they've made androids of course, Metal Gear Solid, of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I think maybe they haven't done on Metroid, but pretty much any cool PlayStation IP they've done androids for. And of course,
some really good Witcher ones I need to pick up at some point.
They do have Witcher ones. Dude, Witcher has some awesome collectibles.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so good.
They've all done a good job licensing those out for sure.
This is completely random, but did you get the collector's edition for Witcher 3? You did, right? Did you?
No, I did not.
Because that statue is like so damn dynamic. The one of Geralt hacking that. Oh, it's so badass. I never got it, but I saw it in the flesh like maybe a year ago. I was like, I'm stealing that now. So. So that's all. That's all I picked up. Okay, Sonic Boom. Now it's your turn.
Yay, my turn.
Stop shaming me.
Well, I kind of got a little bit of both of what you guys got. I got the World of Warcraft Shadowlands Special Edition in the mail. So
Nice.
not only does it have pins in it, it's got an art book, and I
Cool.
got it early. I think that game was originally already supposed to be out. Their expansion, not game, but
Yeah.
that's out next. Wait, it's either next week or this weekend. I don't remember. I haven't played WoW in forever, so yeah. But I buy the special edition expansions because I like to put them on my shelf. Because
Yeah, those are nice.
No
they're
judgment.
nice. With the exception of the last one, they're all pretty nice. You know, you get a book, nice box, you get a mouse pad, the soundtrack. Yeah, it's lovely. In-game
Dope.
swag, and
Love
I've got
it.
them all, so it's a nice little collection to have. Because that
I guess
original,
they're not giving out Heroes of the Storm characters anymore.
no, unfortunately, I didn't. I looked in the box. And there was no free passes to Heroes of the Storm, no HOTS. So
Rest in peace.
hardly knew thee. So
Nice.
that's weird. Did you hear that they're going to not be making any more StarCraft 2 updates?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so yeah, if you want to play StarCraft 2, get it in now because the game's really going to be kind of sunset going forward.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
On that one. It's cool. So is that all your nerdy pickups, boys? We got all of our nerds on.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a new office chair because the one I bought
Oh, dude.
before was
That's a great investment.
hot cheeks.
Yeah,
Well,
it really is.
I actually got it from a Goodwill, so we were
Not
there.
much of an investment.
Yeah, we were there, and I was like, "Hey, that's a nice, comfy chair." Because I had one of those nice racing chairs off of Amazon, and the thing just hurt my butt. I could not get comfortable, so I bought like a nice thick memory foam thing, and sat on it, and it still hurt my ass.
What?
So I got rid of it. I sold it on to some dude from Facebook Marketplace, and got most of my money back. But yeah, it was like a super high rated, and I was like, "This thing is not good at all."
Is this like a situation where a princess can feel a pee from like 20 mattresses situation?
No, it's just
Maybe you're just
was
being
not. Nah, just, like the butt pad on it was like super thin.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm sorry.
I don't know how this has such a high rating on Amazon.
Life's too short to be uncomfortable at your desk, so I applaud you.
Yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So yeah, I got a thrift
Sweet.
store steal.
Big ups to shout out to thrift stores everywhere. All right, let's move on, shall we? And I usually do this earlier, but I had to get in what we were playing because I forgot to do it last week. But our segment for all of our thousands of listeners worldwide, tens of thousands perhaps, but
There's tens of them, yes.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of them. And we love every one of you.
Tens of thousands. They're well acclimated to the segment Flutter Bombs, which is named after Greg's Game of Year 2020. But this is the random topics of conversation segment that I don't tell you guys about. This could be thoughts, tangents, or just old man rants. You know how we do it. Random topic of conversation, okay? My household just got like the first bag of Halloween candy because Halloween is coming right up, by the way. I mean, this pandemic
folks,
is storming.
Almost of October. It's almost the end of October, folks.
Nothing will stop this train. Okay, Halloween is coming, and this candy bag is already a problem for me. I'll just say that. I don't need to go into detail, but it got me to thinking, what's your favorite Halloween candy in the bag, boys and girls?
Ooh, Reese's Pieces.
Oh, Pieces.
But anything Reese's related.
Okay, anything Reese's. And thank you for pronouncing it correctly, because so many people say Reese's, and I want to like jab their throat.
No. And here's my hot take: the hill I'll die on. Almond Joys are good. It's underrated, and everyone should love them.
Okay.
Almond Joy is great.
Oh my god,
so good.
I did not expect to be in this position.
Oh no.
We'll just keep.
Let me guess. You don't put pineapple on pizza either.
No, I'm not a hippie. But anyway, next person.
Yeah, I remember that kind of person.
Yeah, you don't put spinach on a pizza either. But we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, Greg, what's your favorite candy?
I always go for, and there's a big bag. like the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls.
Oh,
like
dude,
Yeah.
fruity
orange and strawberry and stuff. Those are so good.
They have a special name too, don't they? Are they called fruity? Anyway, yeah, those
Fruit
are
Loops?
delicious. Fruit Loops, yes, that's it. No, it's a little known fact. This is completely random. I'm sorry, but I
Random
went
tangent within a
to
random segment.
the tangent on a tangent segment. So this is going great. I was in Target about a year ago, and I just had a total craving for those exact candies you're describing. The Tootsie Roll fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls. Okay, they are not in the candy section at Target. And I'm sure every Target is laid out the same way. I'm sure they have directions about how they market whatever. They are in the office section. So if you go to the office, like
What?
stationary, I'm not kidding. You go to like it
Were
was
they
the
by the
office.
party section where you fill up
Yes.
pinatas?
Okay,
Okay.
that's it. Sorry, the party section. It's in the party section. So if you're looking for the Tootsie Rolls, fruity flavored, they are in the freaking party
Interesting.
section at Target. I presume
haven't-
all retailers to follow suit here.
I haven't
So
worked at Target for like 12 years now, and I still remember that. How sad is that?
that's
They hurt me. To this
They-
side tangent on a side tangent, a side tangent. I still have like awful dreams, like reoccurring dreams about like being late to work at Target or getting fired for them
being
or having to
abused
do
by
like an
Target.
awful project. It's just like, oh, they did me bad. They hurt me.
Damn. We can do like another podcast just about that abuse if you want. But we can talk about that off air.
Retail abuse?
Retail abuse, yes. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying for there are tens of thousands of listeners out there wondering where to get the like fruity Tootsie Rolls, it's in the party section. And
Interesting.
and
this
they are
was like off
delicious.
season.
Totally, dude. That's the thing. I always thought this
Interesting.
whole time throughout my years of life, I thought that the fruity Tootsie Rolls were only like produced during Halloween because that's the only time I'd ever see them.
I don't think I've ever seen one outside.
And that's the thing
Maybe
is,
Easter.
oh yeah, I guess
But-
Easter, but like even that is they're kind of a
Yeah.
rarity anyway, and that's
Yeah,
part of you got
yeah.
this scarcity principle happening with the tutti fruity thingies, the tutti what are they called? Just the fruity Tootsie Roll. But the thing is, they make their way into the candy aisle during Halloween, and that's why we see them. But they actually are among us all year, so that's just things to ponder. My favorite candy, Snickers, done deal, bang. I had like
It's
20
such
of them.
white
today.
bread. Oh,
Snickers is good. It's
Well,
got like
there's a reason they're
heft
number one.
to it.
Yeah, seriously.
Like you could get it filled up on a Snickers.
Yeah.
It's good.
You really can.
challenge accepted.
Yeah, like I said, the candy bag in our house is already a problem, and it's because of Snickers, and I'm very full, if you know what I mean. Full of Snickers. Second, this is a Halloween-related question. Scariest game you've ever played, and you have 5 seconds to answer. Go.
The one on the 360 Origin, not Origins, the one with the
Yeah, I know exactly
detective
what
with the
you're talking
birds. You're picking up all the dumb birds.
Condemned?
Condemned, yeah.
about. Condemned,
That's-
Condemned, yes.
Yeah.
That was an
I could jump-
underappreciated launch game, by the way.
So
Wasn't that
good.
a launch game?
So good.
Underappreciated.
Yeah, I get jump scared real easy. Like, no joke. So,
Tell me about it, dude.
like,
I'm
Resident Evil still gets me. Like, I'll just go through the level and be like, even when I'm playing on dad mode, like, oh, those goddamn dogs are going to jump out a window. Those stupid dogs are going to get me.
It does,
They
yeah.
always-
And I know they're
they
coming,
always
and they
do.
still get me. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
right through. How about you, Greg? Scariest game ever.
Oh, that's hard. I can tell you scariest moment I've ever had at a game.
Hit me.
It is not a scary game. It is BioShock Infinite.
That's kind of okay.
Have either of you finished that game?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
You
It's been
remember
years.
there's only one jump scare in that whole game, which kind of makes it worse. But there's some point in the game where you're like looking down at a panel, a control panel or something, and you turn around and there's an enemy right in your face. And
Oh, is that when you're like the theater district?
I don't remember either.
The guy
Like,
with the weird mask?
it was like a big
Spoilers.
horn. It was like he had like horns on his head or
Oh,
something. I don't know.
remember that, but yeah.
But yeah, like literally dropped my controller.
They put jump
Everything.
scares in Modern Warfare when you're opening up chests to get guns and loot and all that stuff. Like
Oh, that's
randomly,
cool.
this thing will like jump on your screen and it'll screech. And
That's a
You know.
betrayal of gamers. That's a betrayal.
yeah,
I would never play it again if that happened to me.
yeah, it's horrifying.
Scariest overall game, I would say Evil Within 2.
I need to finish
Ooh.
that game, dude. Evil
That
Within
game
is so dope. I love that game.
So good. So good.
That's another backwards compatible game. I'm gonna throw it at my PS5 and see what happens. That's what's happening with that. There's a whole list of games I just kind of want to see how backwards compatibility works on PS5. Scariest game ever for me, if I'm talking moments, probably the jump scare in PT. If I walk through that hallway in PT, I'm like, this already looks like a crime scene. I'm out of this thing. That game is so freaky. And if you actually play it, like trying to scare yourself, and I'm saying like alone in a basement, dark, sound up, that game will mess you up. That game will do things to you.
Creepy lady in the loft. Yeah, that thing. Oof.
Oh my god, dude.
Burn
That
it.
game, oh, Jesus. It's a travesty that never actually happened. Resident Evil 7 in VR, I can't do it. I get the shakes. I'm not even kidding. It like stresses me the hell out. And I have to take it off. I can only do it like 30 minutes at a time, and I haven't finished it in VR. So
that game, especially the beginning parts of that game.
I was just gonna say the first half of the game, like,
God.
maybe do that in real reality, and then put your headset on for when you get to like the docks or the mine or whatever. Because
God, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got all up in my face, and I'm
so
like,
mean.
nope.
You need to get out of that abusive relationship.
Yeah. Okay. Well, happy Halloween almost. We'll revisit scary stuff next week. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to move the podcast along. We're riffing a lot. And I'm sorry to do this to you. This is another Flutter Bomb topic. This will be quick. I have a kind of a joke, like a rough joke podcast last week. I couldn't say my jokes because they were so funny. I couldn't finish them, if you recall. One was about the sound of the PS4 and being a problem for the astronauts. Anyway. So this week to like claim that I am actually funny, I found like the best Chuck Norris joke I could.
Well, we know it's quality if it's Chuck Norris.
I just wanted to prove that that I can be funny.
Jesus
Christ, it's already happening to me. Okay, I'm just gonna have to say this before I laugh. Okay, Chuck Norris is the reason Waldo is hiding. I thought that was really funny.
Okay, Dad.
Anybody?
You're a little fruit.
Sorry. I nailed it.
It's one I actually haven't
laughing
heard.
at you thinking it's funny.
Oh my god! I read that this week and I belly laughed.
This is your host, everyone. Just don't forget to like.
This is why we have
share and subscribe.
We've got this is why we have tens of thousands of subscribers. Okay, we'll get out of Flutter Bombs. Let's do it. How are we on time? This has already gone on too long.
Oh, we're almost all this out. Man. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Let's get to the news.
Quickest episode roadmap. If we ever get there, this could be like a 3-4 hour. This is going to be the Lord of the Rings of podcasts. But I had in mind that it would be like a retrocast because the generation is coming to a close. I had a couple of like quick fire questions about the current gen of games and your personal opinions on them. So we'll get there when we get there. Okay. So let's get to the newsy news. This first topic, I actually really was interested to hear you guys' thoughts. In an interview with Kotaku's Stephen Totillo, Microsoft's own Phil Spencer discussed a few more details about the $7.5 billion deal with Bethesda and parent company ZeniMax Media, as well as possible implications the deal may have for gamers outside the Xbox ecosystem. Sorry, there's like a lot of quotes here, so you just have to be patient with me, okay? Gotcha. At one point in the interview, Totillo asked Spencer pretty straight up, begin quote, is it possible to recoup a $7.5 billion investment if you don't sell Elder Scrolls 6 on the PlayStation? Spencer Spencer quickly replied yes, and then followed up with, I don't want to be flip about that. This deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was, how do we keep other players from playing these games? We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer people to be able to play games. He went on to say, let me see this. First of all, let me stop right there. I have heard a lot of people speculate and like dissect this specific segment of the interview. Obviously, we are still feeling the waves. We will continue to feel the waves of the acquisition of ZeniMax, and rightfully so. It's a massive deal. But like, this was the first time I really think that Phil like said anything specific to the deal, and really cutting to the question really is, are we going to see these games on PlayStation? So I've been hearing all kinds of takes on this. I want to know your guys' takes. Hit me with it.
Well, back when we first started podcasting,
Yeah.
They're like case by case. And it was like, yeah, case by case. That sounds reasonable. They're totally going to do that. So maybe we'll see in the next Elder Scrolls. No, you don't spend $7.5 billion to put your games on another system. So they'll honor the contracts, and then basically everything else is going to be on, Xbox streaming, PC, and Series X and S. And people that think otherwise, like, take a long look in the mirror because you're smoking something.
Yeah. I think really, like, his whole vision of like, no, like anyone can play this. Like, by the time the next Elder Scrolls comes out, you're going to be able to play it on 2 Xboxes or maybe 3, 2 Xboxes. You're going to be able to play it on PC. You could be able to play it on any phone probably by then, any tablet by then. Like, it's just like, yeah, you can play this game. Like, just not on a PlayStation, I don't think.
Right, and to your point here, he does go on and says, when I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we have xCloud and PC and Game Pass and our console base. I don't have to go ship those games on any other platform other than the platforms that we support in order to kind of make the deal work for us, whatever that means. That's how we concluded that.
Yeah, so that seems pretty cut and dry to me.
It's, yeah, I've honestly, when I first read this, I was looking more at the first part of his statement when he was saying specifically, and again, this is kind of in the context of like the Microsoft, I would say, paradigm before this acquisition, which I think before this and I don't have the beat for beat pulse on Microsoft necessarily, but like my perception of their paradigm going into before this deal was, if Xbox could be everywhere, that's what they would want. Even if it was on PlayStation, even if it was on Switch. I still think that that's the case, honestly. If it was Game Pass on those platforms, and there's still a barrier of entry, and I don't think Sony would ever allow it, at least at this point. They would never want that. More my point is, I wouldn't have thought necessarily that Xbox was playing the exclusives game necessarily. So that was like the context of going into this. And when I first read the first bit of this, he was just saying the deal was not done to take games away from another player base. And I was like, well, okay. So are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a.
And to your point, Greg, like he's saying, okay, I don't want to. The deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. And to me, like Totillo asks them, do you have to sell these games on PlayStation to recoup the investment? And he's just answering directly, yes. It is possible to recoup the investment. I don't think that's like, of course he'll recoup. I mean, of course Microsoft will recoup. They're on everything and it's going to sell. Those games are going to sell. But I felt like more he was saying, yes, to answer to your question directly. But then he says this deal is not done to take games away from other player base. So I was kind of like, well, where are you going with this exactly? I don't know. And then he says we want more people to play games. So you're saying you think that just means we want more people to play games. So more people have a phone and have a PC and have Game Pass than people have a PlayStation. So you just
Yeah, he wants more people to play Game Pass. He wants more people on the ecosystem, and this is the way to do it. The last 7 years, people were like, oh, Xbox has no games. They have no exclusives, blah, blah. Well, they just bought a bunch of exclusives. And now people are crying about, you can't do that. That's anti-consumer. It's like, no one was crying anti-consumer when Insomniac got bought.
Well, Insomniac was a PlayStation legacy company, though. That to me is the difference.
But they weren't making. They weren't, they made an Xbox game.
Sunset Overdrive was great.
So,
well, they got
let's not forget Fuse. Also,
we were trying to forget Fuse.
People wanted games, so they went and got games. They are padding out the stables. and this is
No,
how they
I
do
think
it.
I still think it's their best business decision to make him exclusive. But
Yeah.
for some reason, and I've heard other people say like he's probably not conclusive. I mean, you guys may read it black and white. I'm still like, well, why do you caveat with this other stuff that's a little flippant to me? But
I think he's making sure he doesn't, overstep before
I
the
think
ink's
that's really just
dry and they go through all the contracts because they know, like, Deathloop, that's a game that's going to be on PS5. The Double Fine game has already got a contract for being on other systems. So it's one of those, until they have time to sit down and read all the fine print, he doesn't want to overpromise anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
I
still
think
think
later on in that interview, like he's like, maybe we've kind of set the wrong expectation with putting games on other platforms. Like that's not something we're focusing on.
That's more context. That's more context. I still think that it's good for them to make exclusive games, and I always thought that was. I always thought that was. I don't know. I don't know how to quite say this, but when you're not winning the market share, you can be a little more good guy because I don't know. Yeah, like that's the thing about Sony. Like they're protecting their IPs, and that's really the name of the game for them. You protect your brand cachet, and they do everything possible to protect that. So does Nintendo. They protect their IP cachet, and because they have those, they're in a position where they are very, very protective in like all these ways, and it could be seen as anti-consumer or greedy or what have you. But it's a different position. Microsoft has never had a stable of IPs that they have at this moment, really ever. Even when Halo was at its best, and I would say Halo when it was at its best is like I like it more than any IP they just acquired, probably. But they've never had a stable like this ever. So now I think it's a lot easier to say, you're being greedy or we want everything on all our games on everything when you're not really in a position that those other companies are. You know what I'm saying? I think Microsoft is at their best when they're emulating Sony. I really do, and I think that that's what this is. They're going to integrate this into Game Pass, but I mean, again, they can say whatever they want about no one's our competitor in the console space, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, the
like
only
no one can argue that the PlayStation first party exclusives this gen were better than the Xbox ones. Like there's no argument there. And
that they weren't
seem
better.
to have taken a really good look and be like, okay, we need more studios. Let's make them better. Let's get more people.
Yeah, if Sony didn't do so well, we wouldn't have Game Pass. We wouldn't have them cutting checks for new studios because it's easier to buy a studio than it is to build one, even though they're building one out in Santa Monica Coalition. So we're not
and they've acquired some talent this week too.
Dude, every week they're picking up.
It seems like every week.
Which, I mean, as games ship and things turn down, like that's going to happen anyway. I think people just have an eye on it because Microsoft's out there spending that money. They open up the war chest and they're making moves. So
this is the most aggressive I've ever seen their games division ever. And it's like completely. And here's a hot take for you Xbots out there. So get ready, Sonic Boom.
You better hurt my feelings.
I honestly think that in some like this acquisition was so smart in so many ways. I mean, it's awesome when you have 7.5 billion in cash to throw around. That's awesome. But like this is going to be, it was more than just buying games, in my opinion. I think that Xbox has had a first party problem for a long time. And I think part of that is that they haven't managed well. And part of that, at least part of that is also on Phil. Like even like Halo, that game has been in planning, at least in planning stages since 2015. And now it's delayed out of the launch lineup. That's like inexcusable. And there's really no good excuse for that. There really isn't. And like
they don't want to have another Crackdown 3. That game they relied on other studios that they didn't own, and it bit them in the ass, and it went out and it got just hammered. So they're like, let's not force another Halo out because it's Halo year. Let's take the time to get it right because people are going to crucify it. I mean, we saw that the trailer, the demo, And people are like, oh, look at Craig. He's ugly. That's not next gen. It's like, it's a Halo game that looks like Halo. What do you people want? It's like Halo's never been, the epitome of graphics and power. It's always been Halo. So rather than ship it half-assed and dismantled, they're going to take the time and do it right. Because the last two Halo games, it's either been great campaign, awful multiplayer, or great multiplayer, bad campaign. So they need to nail this one.
No, I definitely agree. And even Halo, like I was just looking at it a little bit. I think even Infinite has like 2 or 3 different developers pitching in. Not that I necessarily think that's an issue, but I know I've said this before, but like I have heard people say that Microsoft up to this point has done a lot of like contracting with outside work to help development. And I think that happens to greater or lesser degree with probably all game development, but I have heard it especially so with Microsoft first party. Really going back to my first point, which is, as far as I recall, and you guys can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but Phil Spencer had basically said like, we're going to let Bethesda be Bethesda, kind of. And to me, that also means you're kind of buying a management apparatus. I mean, Bethesda already was managing a multitude of IPs. They have to worry about timing and marketing and quality assurance, all these things for a whole host of development teams underneath them. So I don't know. I think that kind of solves more than one problem that they've been having with this acquisition, is all I'm saying. So
yeah, because when you buy the whole package, you've got the publisher, you've got the marketing team, you've got HR, you get the whole umbrella, so you're not having to move all that stuff in-house to manage.
They're completely established is the beauty of it. Like
just the letterhead's different now. Whereas like,
and I really feel like Bethesda games, I don't recall many of them ever getting delayed. Like, I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah, good point.
But they all seem to, for the most part, hit their dates. And
we'll get some jank.
Sometimes
Skyrims
they'll
and Fallout.
Wait. Oh, for sure.
They've got their own issues.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have been delayed, but like, I don't know. They seem to at least know their workflow.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
Not that we get a lot of inside baseball, but all developers that have commented post acquisition have said, yeah, we're just doing our own thing. And we've had little to no interaction with the mothership. They've left us autonomous and we're just doing our thing. So, or if anything, like, we got the money, we got the resources now to do what we always wanted to do. So, like, Double Fine was scrapping. Rumor, I don't know if it's confirmed, but they were scrapping like bosses and stages to get the new Psychonauts out. And then once Microsoft's like, here's some money, let's buy you. Like, okay, we have the time and the resources to put all that stuff back in.
Well, and I think that that's really proof positive as far as PlayStation's concerned. Like, they have shown time and again that they're willing to incubate things even against sales until their quality or until they feel like they're at a point where they can ship it.
The delay
some degree of
station? No.
I mean, that's I
Last Guardian came out on time. I don't want you to say anything otherwise.
No, I'm saying they did delay it, but it also delayed to be a solid game, and people bought it. Is all I'm saying. Even like Dreams, which is not selling well at all. Last of Us 2 got delayed. What I'm saying is, when you have like 10 studios rotating, you can do that. You have the leverage to rotate because you have other marketing times a year that you can plug in. I think delays are good, but not every company does it. And Microsoft can afford it. That will make their games better. Yeah. What they need is quality and consistency, and I think.
And now that they have all these studios, they can afford to have a game slip. And be something else to take over that slot.
Totally.
So
it's so good. It's such a great acquisition. Okay, next news item. God, it's been like an hour, and we're only on the second news item. NPD September 2020 figures have been released. Switch is once again the best-selling hardware in the United States. That marks the 22nd consecutive month that Switch was number 1 in sales in the North American region. This actually sets a new record for hardware gaming in the United States. The previous record actually was held by the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
With 21 successive months.
I saw that and I was just like, God, you went what, 2 years solid?
Yeah,
even with all those issues, like, that's crazy.
That's dominant. Yeah. Hardware spending came in at $277 million, 15% increase year on year. Let's see, year-on-date spending on hardware increased by 22%. They have a lot of like little bullet points. Software sales up year-on-year, over 21% over the same period in 2019. Sales and spending is up. Yes, COVID's part of that, but I think the bottom line is console gaming is alive and well. Gaming is alive and well, and console gaming is fine.
Yep, escapism is recession-proof. Always has been.
Straight. So I don't know. I just kind of noted that because it riffed on. I don't know why the Switch is kind of ignored. I feel like in gaming conversation. That's just my perspective on it. And every time I saw somebody have like a take on this, and I completely agree. Feel free to disagree if you want, but every time Nintendo does something great, it's kind of like, yeah, Nintendo does great things. Every time they do something or have a game or have some slip, even in hardware, people are like, they should just go third party. Like, that's such disrespect, dude. They are arguably still the best game developer on this planet.
As far as quality of shipped IPs, shipped executables that work on their hardware, yes.
Yeah. And I know you don't like Breath of the Wild. That's fine, but
I didn't say that. It's
game of the generation.
Good solid 7.0.
God.
Out of 15.
Okay, if Zelda's 7, what's a 10?
Okay.
If Breath of the Wild is a 7, what's your 10?
Oh, don't you say Crackdown 3?
Oh my God. Don't even
beat me to it. Beat me to
it. I knew where you're going.
Don't be like that. That's mean.
Okay, well, nothing to say. I guess that means...
Hey, they're doing great. You know, little Bobby got his handheld, and
I still have a
me and my wife fight with Mario. And
try snipper clips. That'll be your cure right there.
I did try the demo.
Dude, snipper clips is the stuff. I love that game. When I'm not raging. Okay, next news item. By the way, any thoughts on that, Greg? Just gaming's doing great and Switch is killing.
Yeah.
Freaking Switch.
Yeah, I think for software sales, it really helps that we know all these games we're buying are going to work on our new consoles.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I'll hold off on some games if it was like the last generation going into this one. Like, well, these aren't going to work."
Yeah, without backwards compatibility, like no one would be buying systems.
Like, you know what's interesting? I was just thinking this week actually, because I was like, I started to see more Xbox Series go up for sale. I wasn't able to snag one, but I think Best Buy had one for like 20 seconds one day. But I was thinking like, okay, Xbox Series X. There's definitely something. I'm gonna have to buy one at some point. And at launch, I don't have any essentials, but I still am interested. Backwards compatibility, the hardware's like really solid. I'm interested. But I was like thinking to myself, okay, there's a lot of backwards compatible games that I would want to play for sure, like Metal Gear Solid 5, etc. But I was like, I already invested in those games on the PS4, so I'd have to rebuy them, probably a lot of them on the Xbox. And I was wondering,
it's on Game Pass.
Is Metal Gear Solid 5 on Game Pass?
Yeah,
sure is.
Is it okay?
Well, and now that EA Access is part of Game Pass, all the Dead Spaces are. Yeah, did you hear that? Dead Space.
Well, I
just download it.
No, the Dead Space. I'm all in. But I'm not going to spend $500 to play Dead Space again. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, well, we got a system for you. It's $299.
Jesus. Okay, enough with your spokesman stuff. But I was just kind of wondering. Actually, let me ask you, because I don't have Game Pass and I've never dipped into the Game Passes. How long is the game on the Game Pass? Is it specified or is it unspecified? And what happens when it goes away?
It's unspecified. Some have been on there the entire time, and some go away.
Some can go, like Fallout 4 has been on it and off a couple times.
It'll probably be on forever now, I would guess.
Anything first party is there day one, infinitely. So
first party stuff has never gone away, to my knowledge.
And then, like once or twice a month, they add 4 or 5 games, and then they'll take a few off too. But they tell you a couple weeks in advance. You get
almost almost a month sometimes, like leaving soon.
Yeah, leaving soon. You'll get a message either on the app or on your notifications. It'll say leaving soon, Game Pass, and then it'll show you the 3 or 4 games that are leaving.
And I'm sorry to ask a stupid question, but if you download it from Game Pass, that doesn't mean you own it forever. You can play it as long as it's active on Game Pass.
Right.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah. Whereas games with gold,
you also get
you own.
You also get like 20% off of everything that's in Game Pass if you want to purchase it. So, like, if something's leaving and you want to keep it, you get your 20% discount if you want to buy it.
And that works on DLC too, microtransactions. You'll get a percentage off.
Well, at least you have that huge first-party stable of Xbox One games to play. That was a dig.
No, we're not.
I would love to sit down with you and like.
I think it went over well.
Walk you through everything that's on Game Pass because I think you would be shocked.
There's like 200 games.
Game Pass is amazing, guys. I just like to pull your chain. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just move on with the news.
You know, there's over 200 games, right?
Yeah, I do.
It's massive.
No, it's a great value, guys. Okay, it's a great value, and Xbox.
Then why don't you have it, Matthew?
Xbox is totally worth it. It's a great.
You need to jump ship.
I would still buy a PlayStation over an Xbox, but that's just my jam, guys. Okay, we can coexist.
No one say it instead of.
We can
always say both.
Yeah, I know. I know. It all happens someday. Okay.
Well, since you have a job, can't you afford both?
No, I can't afford. But I tried to buy an Xbox, dude. It's not like I didn't try. Okay, I just couldn't get one.
Mm-hmm. White man with all his hours. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's talk about something you'll really be excited for, okay? Next news item. After less than a year since the release of Death Stranding, Kojima Productions has officially confirmed its next-gen game has entered development as in an official tweet posted just today, saying, Kojima Productions confirms a new project and is in development and is looking to hire a best-in-class talent to work out of our Tokyo-based studio. For more information on the openings and requirements, please visit our website. For all you aspiring developers
Matt,
out there.
How many times have you applied to work for Kojima? How many
0
resumes?
0,
really?
Which is why I don't work there.
Really? You've never put a resume through?
I've never put a resume to any gaming company ever in my life. But let me make the record clearly shows that I have no skills to actually work at a video game company. So
I almost got a job with Idle Minds.
What?
Yeah, when Mike was doing the Ratchet and Clank remastered.
Oh, that's right, he did do that.
Yeah, they were also doing a dungeon crawler that got canned.
On
back
the Vita,
when,
right?
Yeah, when Sony had that massive round of layoffs and closures, like when SOCOM developer got canned and
Zipper.
Yeah, but yeah, they had a dungeon crawler going, and they called it Warriors Lair or something. It was like. We gave him a list.
Oh my goodness!
We just gave him a
huge
list of names, and they
Warriors Lair never came out.
No, internally they called it Fight Place because they're like, that is a better name. That's a more generic and better name than worse. It was just, but I applied for, like junior level designer, something, and I had to the interview consisted of making a level in Torchlight and then pitching it to the team. And I did that, and having 0 experience, I didn't get the job, obviously. But I mean, they're middle of Colorado, so there's not like a ton to, there's not a very big pool of.
Yeah, you're not tripping over developers over there.
But then Sony pulled the rug out from under them, and they had to make mobile games. So yeah,
those bad guys.
I know, they're the worst. They're so anti-consumer.
I hate them.
But yeah, sorry, that's a tangent on a tangent. So Kojima's making Death Stranding's 2.
Yeah, Kojima Productions. They didn't announce what they're making yet, but this is.
Is it going to be Space Guy? What's the Space Guy logo? Is he an actual character, or is he just their logo?
Lumen. No, he's just the logo. He's just the logo. Oh, so yeah, Kojima Productions. That's another game I need to finish, and I'm going to do it on PS5. Death Stranding, and I played about maybe 20 hours of it, and I dig it. I really dig it, and I'm really excited for this because Kojima Productions is baller. You hear me? All our tens of thousands of listeners, go play Metal Gear Solid 5. That's all I have to say about that.
Did you ever?
Yeah.
Did you ever play Death Stranding?
No, I did. I'm like 20 hours in. I'm like 20 hours into Death Stranding. I haven't finished it, and oh my god, I have a really bad problem about going really hot and cold on games. Kind of like Sonic Boom with his Genshin Impact. I'm all about it, and then I don't touch it for a little while. So
that game came out last year, right?
Yeah, it did.
I remember when that was first announced. And I said, I think I was still working at Target. I said that game's never coming out to the PS5, and it's not coming before 2020. I was so close. So close to making it to 2020 at least.
I had to, like, in all honesty, like, Kojima just like going from Konami, building a studio. Like, I thought that game came out pretty quick.
Yeah, dude.
All things considered.
Metal Gear Solid 5 shipped in 2015, and they shipped Death Stranding in 2000.
4 years.
That's a pretty good turnaround.
Going from scratch.
From nothing. Started from the bottom. And
what engine did they use?
Decima.
Or did they make the...
Decima. Once Kojima Productions signed a deal with Sony, Sony pretty much said, we're going to tour you through all of our in-house studios, and you get to pick whatever you want.
Take what you want.
Who makes the Decima engine?
It's Guerrilla Games.
That's Guerrilla.
They made Horizon Zero Dawn was built on Decima. And I think part of the reason he used Decima is it's a really good geometry engine. So
it sounds like an open world one.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's done in 4 years, because they didn't have to make their own engine.
Oh yeah, completely.
That's why Halo's taken so long, is they made the Infinity engine.
That is a good point.
So
I forgot about that new. Yeah, Slip Space engine. Yeah,
or Slip Space. I call it Infinity. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I meant. Yeah, hey, you know what I meant. Email us for corrections. I don't care. Do your best.
Our tens of thousands of listeners with their emails piling up. Engines are the gold standard of first party, man. I am telling you, engines, baby. That's why they're reusing them on the PS5, because you get maximize your returns on those investments. It takes forever to make a good engine.
Yeah, no, it's true. RE engine, just everything of that engine. It's so pretty.
I cannot wait for Resident Evil 8. Oh my god.
I guess those new Monster Hunter games on Switch are also RE engine games.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It seems really scalable.
So good. Speaking of Halo, by the way, this week Microsoft revealed the Halo Master Chief Collection will be fully optimized on Series X and S, sporting 120 frames per second in campaign and multiplayer, along with split screen improvements, and up to 4K on Series X. Halo Master Chief Collection Optimized will be free to both existing owners or those with Xbox Game Pass on November 17th. So Halo will be coming launch window. Confirmed.
Yay. That game just has legs. Like,
it does.
Everyone says, oh, all Xbox has is Halo, Gears, and Forza. Well, they keep selling. They keep putting money into them for a reason, you know.
I am so glad they fixed that game, because it was in a mess at launch, but they really put in the work, and it seems like they kind of redid all the multiplayer from ground up and
could not agree more.
Got it working.
Thank God too, because that's a really good example. Actually, Microsoft deserves a lot of credit for that, because they could have pulled the plug, and I'm sure that took a lot of money, and it did take a lot of time to do it. But Halo deserves it, man. That's your staple. I don't care how old Master Chief is, dude. He is the staple of the games division for Microsoft, and that's why you can't do him dirty. And when you bring out Halo Infinite, make that baby shine as much as humanly possible, please.
Yeah, I like to add, when people are like, oh, but it's just Halo, it's not as recognizable as it used to be. Every year when you go buy costumes for Halloween, you see Fortnite, Mario, and Cortana. So it's still every bit as recognizable as it was 10 years ago. So,
well, I'm just glad it's coming out on Series X optimized. That's awesome. And when I get my Series X, I will absolutely be playing that.
I'll play it with you co-op.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down. Okay, we're almost done with the news, and we're almost done with the podcast. I didn't tell you about this news item, but I just thought I'd throw it in. In a beautiful, touching, and masterful style, Sony released a video showing 1 second from every game that defined the PlayStation 4. Video was 3 minutes, 40 seconds of heart laughter, tears, showing clips from PlayStation Studios' finest and third-party support for the PlayStation 4. The only reason I noted this is because I'll be 100% honest with something, and you can call me Sony Warhorse. I will wear that saddle proudly. I got really nostalgic watching that video.
I did too. I really did.
And it started right from the beginning with the menu.
Yeah, it seemed to be kind of like chronological.
Dude. Yeah, it was like and part of the reason I just wanted to ask you guys, like, looking back on the current gen, is there anything that, I don't know. The video was really nostalgic and it made me think. And like video games are kind of like time capsules in that way. It's like I can play a game, really old game, and it's like talking to an old friend. So I don't know. I always get kind of nostalgic at the end of console generations. Is that weird? Tell me I'm not weird, please.
No, I get it. Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, in other countries more than others, the last 4 years has been a dumpster fire. So gaming has been that outlet, that release, that way to escape the real world and forget about your troubles for a minute. And, every platform has their strong suits on what that escape is. And Sony had, some great, amazing first party exclusives. So, yeah, I mean, take a bow. I mean, you got it, flaunt it. So good for them.
Well, it's going to make Microsoft better. That's what it's going to do. Just like PS4 was good because the 360 smacked them all around. So,
yeah. I mean, a lot of those games in there now owned by Microsoft.
That's right. Okay, how are we on time? I actually kind of want to get straight to these rapid fire current gen questions because I feel like now is the time.
All right,
strike iron. How are we doing on time, Sonic Boom?
Just over like an hour and 15 or so.
Okay. This is how we're going to do this thing. Okay. I have not told you guys. I've only told you guys one question beforehand. So most of these questions you haven't heard, and there's no wrong answer. I just want to hear your rapid fire question because I saw that video, that PlayStation video, and I got nostalgic. So I'm all up in my current gen feels right now. I'm in my current gen feels. Okay. So just
all right, shoot.
Come with me on this. All right. Current gen, man. And we're going to go. Who wants to go first? I want you guys both to answer, but like in the same order. So like if we go Sonic Boom, Greg, Sonic Boom, Greg. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
Okay. Current gen game you thought you'd like, but you actually disliked or even hated.
Ooh, that's a good one. I liked and did not like.
You thought you would like, and then you played it, and you're like,
what was it that I fell hard off of?
Genshin Impact.
No. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, Horizon, yeah.
I played it and I just couldn't get out of the tutorial. I was just like, I don't know if I was just open world fatigued.
Yeah, right.
I was probably most of it, but I just nothing grabbed me. I'm like, this isn't doing anything new for me. So I bounced pretty hard off of it.
How about you, Greg?
Oh, I'm having trouble thinking of one.
No, I know these are kind of hard, actually.
Yeah.
Or even you could caveat this to like a game that you didn't like for many hours and then suddenly clicked. Because I can tell you now, like for example, Red Dead 2 was that for me. I didn't want to admit it. I did not want to admit it because I loved Red Dead Redemption and I was loving so much about Red Dead 2. And it took me like 10 hours for me to start warming up to it, which is just that way.
Red Dead 2 was definitely not what I was expecting or wanting it to be. Like
a lot of people bounced off that. Like a lot of people
like it was I want an open world to go do all this stuff in. And that is not its strong suit. Like its strong suit is the main missions and the story. And by the end of that game, like I loved that. Like that story was amazing.
Yeah, you were popping off to me right when you finished it. Like, you gotta complete it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like
get through Act 3, and that's when it starts heating up. That's the hurdle.
But yeah, like I wanted things to do in the world. I wanted the camp to matter. I wanted all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it was definitely disappointing in parts of it for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What current gen game have you spent the most amount of hours on? Sonic Boom.
Ooh, probably Destiny.
It's gotta be. Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I've done all the raids, got all the achievements. Like, you name it, I got it. There's very few weapons I don't have as far as exotics go.
Damn, Sonic Boom, you must be really amped for the what are they doing? Like an update?
Oh, New Light, yeah. The last year of content's been really lacking. You can tell they're hurting post Activision separation.
really?
Like Vicarious Vision was such a diamond and high moon. I think they helped out too. I don't know. I always get this way with it's like Tina and Ike, man. It's such an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they do things I just can't. Like, I'm the worst Destiny fan. Like, they do things that just absolutely irritate me.
I see you on Twitter ripping them all the time. Well,
all the time.
Not as much now, but
I keep going. I just keep going back to them.
Yeah.
No,
I hear you, dude. It's because you love it that you're critical. That's what it is.
Yeah, I know they can be better, and they're not.
Yeah, no, I had a problem with Nintendo for like 3 years, so. But I'm back on my love with them. Okay, so Destiny. How about you, Greg? Current gen game that you spend the most amount of hours on?
I think it might be Smite.
So really? Damn.
Yeah, I fell hard into Smite for a while.
When did that game come out?
Oh, it came out a while. It was the early Xbox One game.
I see, what, 2014, 15?
Damn, dude.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
When did Advanced Warfighter come out?
A couple years ago.
God.
So it came out around there, didn't it?
That was the second one this gen, 2014. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was a sleeper hit. I think a lot more people played that game than you think.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like there was probably a good solid year where like I played an hour a day at least, if not multiple.
Damn.
I still go back and check now and then, and I'm rusty.
I'm rusty games. All right. Nice. Who is your current who is your current gen video game character crush? Sonic Boom.
City Adler from Red Dead. That rough and tumble cowgirl.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Damn,
She does something for daddy.
No.
I was like, how long before this gets weird?
Yeah.
And it went real fast.
And I'm not into blonde, so that tells you something.
Jeez.
Like
That was like a whole personality question right there.
Yeah, she can hog tie me any day of the week.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. We better move on. How about you, Greg?
I mean,
Hog tie me.
It's not original, but Lara Croft always.
Oh yeah, Lara. Damn straight. Yeah, she had a very nice update.
It's like keep going.
It's fun. I really liked like the era of like Tomb Raider Legend and Underworld. I still like that Lara Croft better.
Oh yeah.
But the new ones are great too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Humanized. I'm gonna have to go with Jill Valentine. Sorry,
yeah.
Dude, she just does something for me. Although a close second is Claire Redfield from the.
That's not current though, man. Something current.
That is current. Resident Evil 2. They remade the game.
All right. Fair enough.
God, Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5. She's a looker.
Did you feel funny? Wasn't egg on your face when you found out the reason she's wearing that skimpy outfit? Didn't you feel like a fool?
Did you regret your words and deeds?
Yeah. Did you repent, Matthew?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I have a bunch of her dollies, if that helps. All right. What current gen game did you last finish? I guess that's not really a great question. It's got to be Tsushima for you, Greg. I guess.
Yep, Tsushima for sure.
Carrion. I played that. Beat that. Not too long
how
ago.
is that game? That's
it's so fun.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it looks
it's
so
a bit fun.
Weird. I love that. I love the look of that. I want to play that game. Oh dear.
Yeah. That was a quick game. You didn't, 4 or 5 hours maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? That's actually makes me want to play.
Minecraft. 100% of that. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, nice. How many hours did that run you? Damn.
That wasn't too bad.
I'm not imagining long.
No, I was in a server, so I knocked it out in like a couple hours.
Wow. Let's see. Last game I completed, I think it was Last of Us Part 2. I believe. I do believe. By the way, whenever you actually get around to playing that Sonic Boom, I'm going to see if my theory is correct on your opinion on the game.
Yeah.
So,
I'll probably be around Christmas when I get it for $20 for Black Friday.
and you'll play it on PS5. Cool.
Just send me one, sure.
Oh, hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. If you want to buy one, I have like 10 of them.
Your pyramid?
Yeah, I have a pyramid. I'm serious too.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not rich enough to say I could give it. I wish I could give it to you. I totally would if I could afford it.
But you have a job in America. We
So
work
do you.
hours.
So you can
We're
swap
not
me
talking
in a
about me.
Series X.
Don't deflect.
How many series do you have? I'll trade you.
4.
Do you?
Ooh.
Well, let's see. Yeah. I need to start canceling
You can
those.
get this going right now.
I know.
Let's see.
Dude,
I keep
Target
forgetting.
charged me. Target just charged me for my PS5. So
Yeah. Nice. You know that you're locked in.
yeah, I have at least 2 PS5s now. So
There you go. Lock it
They
in.
charged me for my PS5.
yeah, and actually they charged me like I didn't even know this. Like last month, like September 18th, 17th or 18th, dude. Check your
Yeah, they charged me for my Xbox my Xbox, and
pay stubs, y'all.
it's one of those I crap myself because it's like, wait, what? And like, oh yeah.
It's not an insignificant
yeah.
charge.
No.
For sure.
I bought 5 PlayStations. That's right. In the dead of night. All right. Best current gen villain. These are hard, dude. I'm sorry.
These are. You needed to give us some prep work.
I know. I should have. I'm sorry. And these are really like quick fire questions. These are like long, drawn out.
Yeah, these are like.
I'm sorry. I mean, don't overthink it too much. Like the first villain that comes to mind probably is a good one because it was memorable, right?
I'm trying to think who I just.
I don't want to name names because it kind of would spoil things. But the villain in Red Dead 2.
Nice. I haven't finished Red Dead 2. Finished Red Dead 2. Don't spoil.
Yeah.
We good.
I guess there's a few people you could say are the villains, but all good.
I need to finish that game now. God.
I'm trying to think.
I have a really corny one while you think on that. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess like the Plague's Tale, the ultimate bad guy in that was
the rats.
Oh,
yeah, the Plague. Yeah, no, it's I don't know. That's a good one. I don't really have a good answer to that.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure 5 minutes after I hit pause on this recording, I'll be like,
no.
yeah,
I'll think of 100 great ones.
Joker.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard to think back 7 years of gameplay.
No, it really is, dude.
I know.
Is.
I know a lot of people did like him as much as other past ones, but I thought the villain in Far Cry 5 was good. He was interesting.
I have heard that actually. I've heard he's good.
What about King Dice and Cuphead? There we go.
Oh, dude, Cuphead is so dope.
Deal with the devil.
That game is amazing. I'm gonna have to. This is so corny, but I'm gonna have to go with the cleric beast from Bloodborne. First boss in the game. The design is amazing. It's horrifying, and it defined my love for Soulsborne. I did not really love FromSoft games until I beat the Cleric Beast in Bloodborne, and that was like a turning point in my gaming life. It was one of the most impactful games I've ever played was Bloodborne. And someday I will write a whole book about it's actually a whole metaphor of fear. And that's a whole... You're going to have to smoke a lot of pot before you read that one book.
So say,
yeah, it's the whole metaphor for fear. Every FromSoft game has a metaphor about life. Sekiro was overcoming. Like he lost his arm and he overcame that. It's like perseverance. Bloodborne was fear, overcoming fear. And that's the whole thing. Okay, best current gen combat. Or you could say best current gen weapon. I'll loosen the ropes on that one.
Combat is absolutely Sekiro.
Dude, yes.
I was gonna say Batman.
Yeah,
I think that. Yeah, that's like an onion. Like you just peel back the layers and you get better and better at it, and I really enjoyed that.
Batman, dude. When's the next Batman game coming out?
Not soon enough. Probably holiday next year for Lucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will it be
Knights?
Will it be backwards compatible, or will it be cross-gen?
I believe it's coming out on all platforms.
I think it is.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, you mean like cross-play?
No, not cross-play. Who wants to do that?
You mean cross-platform?
Cross-plat. chat. That's what we're doing. Okay, we have 2 more weapons. 2 more weapons, Jesus. 2 more questions. And then there's a bonus question. Oh, by the way, yeah, mine is Sekiro. Best combat in any game I've ever played in my freaking life.
It's
you got to play it
incredible.
At some point, Sonic Boom. You got to pick that up. Most overrated current gen game.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Now your real answer.
Spider-Man.
Okay. I would say an Xbox game, but no one rates those. So.
Dirty. Oh. Nah, I just couldn't get into it. You know, people loved it because it's Spider-Man, which is great, but just the story was boring. Combat was fine. The combat was pretty good. It was very Batman-esque, and the swinging was great. But the quests and the challenges and the story were just ass, and I hated it. And I grunted through it because I spent so much money on it.
So if you just magically acquired a PS5, would you mess with Miles Morales, or are you not that interested?
No. Probably
You're
not.
Gonna play Assassin's Creed Valhalla instead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Greg, most overrated current gen game. These are just for you. You know. There's no wrong answer, bro.
I know there's so many people that like this game. I don't get Spelunky. Like I've really tried. I bought 2 when I don't get it. Like, I mean, I don't get why people love it so much. I don't know.
I love that answer. That's great.
I want to get it. I really do.
Yeah.
I've tried. I haven't got it.
What's the one where you're the girl and you're trying to get strawberries and it's
Celeste.
Celeste. Yeah, I'm the same as Celeste. Like I played it frustratingly, played it on airplane, and just I was like, I don't see the appeal. I don't know why everyone's falling over themselves to play this game.
The platforming feels so good in that game, though.
What is it?
It does.
You're talking to the Spider-Man guy, okay? You can't make sense of it.
No, yeah, that's discounted him already.
Oh, cool. I've actually heard similar things. Man, I don't even know if I have an answer for this. These are hard questions.
You wrote them.
I know. I didn't think of them as I wrote them. I was
What's your knee jack?
I'm stupid. I didn't love Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not going to call it the most overrated, but that was definitely a game that I expected to like, and I just didn't. And it's funny because it does so many things right. I think the combat is totally solid, and generally speaking, I think combat is the game hook, you know. But a game when it's trying to hold a narrative, and I didn't get that deep into it, so I don't know. I need to give it another try. I really, really do.
It definitely didn't click for me for a while, and it is very my type of game.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that it didn't immediately click, but I got there eventually.
And for some reason, Forbidden West, I'm super psyched to play that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But, just see. But yeah, I still think it's a great game. It's just not for me. So I don't know if that answers it, but that's my answer. Most underrated current gen game.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3. What would you? Okay, what would you give a 7? Oh, Breath of the Wild. You gave Breath of the Wild a 7. So what is Crackdown 3?
12. Solid.
Oh, I forgot. You don't like math with reviewing games anyway.
No, I hate numbers. Numbers are bad. There's a half truth. I think that game was underrated.
Yeah.
Was it worth $60? No, I don't know what they were thinking pricing that one at $60, but on Game Pass it was for free.
Yeah.
But underrated. Battletoads. That game was way better than it should have been, and for all the visceral hate that people have for that franchise and thinking it doesn't need to be remade, it was pretty darn good.
I hate when people say that. I hate when people say a game shouldn't be remade. Screw off. It's a good game.
Yeah. Greg and I talked about this prior to launch, and right after, it's we got Crackdown vibes with how awful the campaign and the marketing was for this game. We got a couple tweets
dumped on us.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing to me, with Battletoads. Sorry to interrupt you right there. It seemed like it reviewed pretty damn well. It's more overlooked than underrated, kind of. Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably a fair way to say it. But yeah, I think the game was great.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. Actually, I've heard nothing but great things. Good answer. Okay, Greg, most underrated current gen game.
Evil Within 2.
There you go. So you like?
I think.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I liked it more than any Resident Evil game I played.
Damn.
And I really like some Resident Evil games.
Damn. I hadn't heard that piping hot take.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I haven't common theme. I finished Evil Within 1, loved it, and I started Evil Within 2, and then something else came out, and I don't know what happened, but I haven't finished.
It's interesting. Like, I've started Evil Within 1, and I was like, this is not for me. I don't like it. Like, it's very, like, torture porny and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's
true.
That's true.
Hearing, like, a spoiler for the end of that game that kind of puts things in context of why they're that way completely brought me in. I was like, oh, okay, I love this. And then starting 2 is amazing.
Yeah, it had a little bit of technical jank. The first one did.
Yeah,
so
I remember, especially at launch. Yeah,
it'd be hard to go back to that one. I have a feeling and actually play it, but I
bought it on PC recently. I haven't started it.
Oh yeah, you'll have to tell me your thoughts. That's another game. Like I wonder which games are really gonna do backwards compatibility well. You know, like games that have. I still think it's gonna come down to like the engines and scalability, and if they're scalable, next gen is going to run them like primo. That's what I think. Underrated current gen game. I always say this, and Greg, you probably already know this. I think Alien Isolation was underrated. I think the aesthetic of that game was phenomenal, and
it looks so good.
It's so damn cool. It had some frame pacing issues and some technical hitches. It was a bit long in the tooth, but like just as far as the cat and mouse horror of the alien and the whole lo-fi sci-fi thing, oh my god, so beautiful.
Oh man, speaking of Alien, we never talked about Scorn.
Dude, Scorn looks dope.
Oh, so good. I will definitely play it, but Scorn is disturbing.
Yeah,
it's
twisted.
Geiger, man, it's yeah, it was super cool. I did that gameplay video just dropped. Was it today or yesterday? It's like 13 minutes too.
It was yesterday.
How they just play rolled that thing. It's like not really a trailer. They just played it and it looks awesome. Really dig it.
It looks real good.
Really dig it.
Shout out to Scorn, very early sponsor of Easy Allies podcast.
Really?
Like, way back in the day, yeah.
That's funny. When does that game come out? Do they have a release date for that?
I think they said 2021 now.
2021, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Bring it on. I will be ready and waiting whenever you're ready. Bonus question, and then we'll end the podcast. What was the sequel that never happened that should have?
Ooh, the sequel. Easy. Sunset Overdrive 2.
Oh, yeah. Good answer.
Great answer.
Good answer. All right. Well, I guess you dropped the mic on that one. Greg, how about you?
I don't want to sound super redundant, but maybe Evil Within 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, about
maybe they do it. Maybe they do it.
Siphon Filter. No, I mean
Siphon.
You know, the one with Sam Fisher.
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. We never got Splinter Cell like this entire generation.
That is wild. Like it is not a franchise. I'm like, where is it? But
yeah, it's like we never got that. We never got F-Zero this generation or last. Did we get one last year? Last gen?
We haven't got one since GameCube.
Oh man.
Dear God, man. Where are you, Sam Fisher? And wasn't there some there was some like cameo that Sam Fisher had that pissed people off.
He's been in every Ubisoft game.
Yeah, Wildlands. And he got like an anime card game for mobile or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in Watch Dogs before.
And I hate his cameos too. It's like, you just show up like you've been here the whole time, asshole. Get in your own game, please. Jesus.
I saw someone on Twitter say he's stuck in the Ubiverse and he can't get out. He's like shifting from game to game.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, Evil Within 3. I guess. Okay, my joking answer would sequel that never happened that should have is Metal Gear Solid 6. That's my joking answer. But my actual answer, I don't even know if this is a sequel. Game that didn't happen, it's not a sequel that should have, and I wish did, was PT. That's a shame. That's a crying shame.
Yeah.
That was going to be a rare moment in video games, boys and girls. Guillermo del Toro, who actually writes and directs amazing films, was going to write and direct that game. Well, not direct it, but write that game. That was going to be great.
Yeah.
And God, didn't happen. Oh man, sequel. Yeah, I guess we'll just leave it at PT. PT. And which will not be playing on the PS5.
So yeah, you got that bad news this week.
Screw it, I don't believe him. I'm gonna try it anyway. I have it on my hard drive. See what it does.
Yeah, never get rid of that hard drive.
Well, I'll try to play it on PS5.
Can you still pull it down from the store?
I think there's some weird workarounds you can do it.
Yeah.
I want to say no, God, there was some weird workaround, and I forget the circumstance of it. But I have it on my hard drive, and it's never going anywhere. So I guess I will.
Make sure it don't.
It's for forever. Not that I can play it because I just crap myself, kids. If I'm honest.
I think you can play like at least a dozen decent versions of it in Dreams now too.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool. Dreams. All right. Well, I think we've wrapped it.
So yeah, speaking of Dreams, let's put this baby to bed.
Heck yeah. Well, Sonic Boom, why don't you usher us out of this place? Where can we find you on the Twitters and such?
You can find me at the Pie Piper, like pie, delicious eating pie.
Yes. And by the way, what's the Twitter for the show? We have one, don't we?
We do. It's at CrossPlat Chat.
Nice.
And I'll put it in the description of the podcast.
Oh,
so you can go see it.
So we're going to have tens of thousands of followers by this time next week.
And we have a website too, crossplatformchat.com. And it has all our delicious links there.
That's right. Find us. How about you, Greg? Where can we find you?
I'm at Jethrin, Jethrin.
And I am Matt. I am at the circle button on Twitter. Best Twitter follow you can find. Just kidding. So I guess that's a wrap on episode 4. And Cross Plat Chat is out of here.
Love your bodies.
Happy Halloween.
That's next week.
Almost
next week.